What's going on, Workforce? Brian here, and today we're talking about my overall thoughts on Red Mage. This job really has it all. Short a couple of things, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. But all in all, I'm super excited to have Red Mage at level cap, but let's just go ahead and do this thing. So you guys voted, and Red Mage won, and I couldn't thank you guys enough. Playing this job, learning this job was so much fun. Red Mage has just been one of those iconic jobs in the Final Fantasy series that I have always adored and had a special, affection for, or fondness, for that regards. And so with Red Mage in Final Fantasy XIV, it's not like your traditional Red Mage as you would see in your standalone titles or in like Tactics or anything like that. And that's okay. What they did with it, what they worked with it with both in PvP and PvE, I felt like it's one of the best and most well-rounded jobs, from a DPS perspective to date. Now, I love casters. So anybody who's ever seen any of my videos before, hopefully will identify that I love casters. So back in 1.0, Black Mage was my main. And then eventually in 2.0, Summoner just came and took the cake. Having the dots and the pet, man, I just really fell in love with it. In fact, even in 3.0, Summoner kept my main as a DPS job in and of itself. Now, for those of you who might not know, just to be clear, when I define main, I look at each role. Main tank, main healer, and main DPS. So, when I say main, I mean this was the primary DPS that I really focused in on, trying to improve and progress, etc. And so I was wondering, like, would Black Mage take, back the title in 4.0? With Red Mage? And honestly, at this point, absolutely, Red Mage takes the cake. It is, I'm going to consider this my main DPS job. I am still leveling up Black Mage. Black Mage is around 64 or 65 at this moment. So making, I think, fairly decent progress there. Having a good time. We'll do a final thought. We'll do kind of an overview when all that's done. So if that's done, hopefully I've, had the fortitude to link it there as well. But for the most part, Red Mage is incredible. Progression-wise, it's got, when you're talking about endgame progression, you got the raise, you got cure, you have that backup, but you still, I feel you don't lose a lot of damage. You don't lose a lot when it comes to that utility, that ability to heal and to obviously raise. Obviously, you're not doing damage at that time when you're doing those two functions, but it's really great to have. It can help you get further along in a raid. So if you think of that from that kind of that progression build in a group, Red Mage I think almost stands out above the rest in my opinion because of that really quick ability to get people back up. And the only reason you really want to do that, I mean, if you're really trying to do it efficiently, you don't want to die in the first place, but you want to get people back up so you can get further and further along. So as you're especially learning, that's what I mean by progression, you're going to have the ability to see more phases and to get a better understanding of either what's coming up next. Sometimes the game will throw stuff at you that if you're not expecting, that's really when, problems, can happen and happen really quickly. So Red Mage, fantastic in that regards. But the big thing that I think that stands out for Red Mage in and of itself is its mobility. And this is both in PvE and PvP. Now in PvP, I did feel like if you're only casting Jolt and Impact, your MP is going to drain fast. That's why it plays really differently from its PvE counterpart, in which that you usually bounce between fire and stone or arrow, just so that you end up, those don't actually cost MP in PvP. They don't hit as hard as they do in PvE, so there's a little bit of confusion and disconnect there, but we'll do a guide on that here at some point in the future. But what I mean by it is that the ability to jump in and jump out, to be able to swift cast, it felt like I had a lot of mobility options for the job itself. As long as I had dual cast up, any option was available to me. I could be closing the gap to something while using my instacast on whatever target I need to be using it on. And then it ended up building out various strategies regarding the rotation, being able to try to make sure you keep up, acceleration, just so you can try to make sure that you're always proccing these abilities. And I always kind of just thought of it more of that figure 8 approach, at least how I've configured it on my, double cross hotbar, of how I'm rotating in and out of my spells. But even I guess the greatest weakness that I felt for Red Mage was anything really below level 30. Like whenever you sink into a leveling roulette, if you got below level 30, there really wasn't a lot to do on the job you know, you really feel that the job is built for that 50 plus when you have your jump in and your jump out, and then all your different abilities that come, you know, with that. And that's why I thought it was a good choice to have Cure and Raise set at such a high level for the job, so they're not, you know, a part of the job at the early stages. And that's also why I'm really happy that they set the job up to start at level 50. I was wondering how I'd feel with that, and so honestly, it's to the point where really like the game feels the most fulfilling, and also playing a DPS, at least from 50 to 60 as you make your way to the current level cap of 70, felt like there was a lot of things to do, and it felt exciting. It didn't feel like I was running the same, you know, level 20 or level 30 dungeon over and over again. It felt like I had such a wide selection of options to choose from to level up. And then eventually with 4.1, when they did add the Beastman dailies, coupling that up, I felt like leveling the job, you know, it was much easier because you could take advantage of the Beastman dailies for Heaven's Word. You could also leverage the Beastman dailies once you get to that 60 range in, you know, for the Kojin, which is also helping you work towards the mountain and everything like that. So I didn't feel too much pressure or disconnect or grind heavy with the Red Mage in and of itself. Obviously, it did take me a little while to get from 50 to 60 to 70, as you can see in the gap between previous guides and job content posts. But that's okay. Like I enjoyed every minute of it. There was not a moment that you know, I didn't really enjoy it with this job. And that, you know, kind of brings me, I guess, to the final point. Like, if you are looking to play this job, if you enjoy casting even a little bit, Red Mage might be the job for you. It's powerful. You know, other jobs have had to have adjustments, and that's, you know, that makes sense. You know, obviously we saw that coming, but it's a lot of fun. And if you get that feel, it feels very natural, and it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's fun. This is a fun job to play. Where does it rank again according to the other DPSs for me? Right now, it's my number one. It's, like I said, it's going to be my new main. I'm really interested to see how Black Mage fares at level 70 once I get it up there. I'm enjoying it, but again, I think it would be, for me, you know, Red Mage, Summoner, Black Mage, and that's just preference, and that actually breaks my heart, again, as a former Black Mage, as somebody who loves the job. It's so classic in and of itself. But you didn't come here for Black Mage. We'll be doing some stuff on that as soon as I hit level cap, which should hopefully be pretty soon. Will I continue to play Red Mage? Absolutely. I love playing it in PvP. I love playing it at PvE. It is a great job. You should play it. The end. Thanks for coming, everybody. I think, you know, pretty much, you know, you got my conclusion in the intro of this video. But for Work to Game, guys, my name's Brian. Sound off in the comments below. Do you love Red Mage? Do you loathe Red Mage? Are you a Red Mage yourself? And let's have that conversation. I'd love to know what you guys think about the job and how it fares, especially as we go into 2018. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in my next. And until then, I hope you have a fantastic week. Take care.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Brian, do you think there's anywhere they could catch us in the meantime?
Right now, Chris, we're probably on Twitch. If it's probably in the afternoon, it could be you. Sometimes you see my face. And we also found this random guy, you know, named Kevin on the street somewhere.
I accidentally left my password written on the side of my car.
Oh man, that was really a big mistake. But guys, we really appreciate it if you guys hit the link in the description below for our Twitch page. We'd love to see you over there. And you can even subscribe to us over on Twitch.
If you're Amazon Prime, that could even be free.
Oh my gosh, what a deal.
Well, cool. Well, thanks guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.